And so you knew they were going to come for you. You had to know that. Now, to the degree that they're doing so, I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from.
Pictures I have put up half naked. And one thing we know is a slam dunk here is you're a hypocrite.
Angel Reese just dropped some pics on social media, and boy, did it blow up. Fans are going crazy, calling her out for being a hypocrite. You know why? She's been talking about being sexualized, but then posts these super revealing photos. What's really going on here? Let me paint you a picture. Angel's photos were fire. She's looking all glammed up, showing off her curves in some seriously skimpy outfits. But here's the thing, fans aren't having it. They're mad, and they're not holding back. One critic even said, if you're going to cry about your image, maybe don't hand feed the drama. Ouch. But wait, you won't believe what happened next. This is where things get really messy. The backlash is just the beginning. There's a whole storm brewing, and Angel's right in the middle of it. You know what's crazier? This isn't just about some photos anymore. It's turning into something way bigger. Remember when Angel talked about being sexualized? Well, those photos are telling a whole different story. Is she being a hypocrite, or is this her way of taking control? The debate is on, and it's heating up fast. Angel's recent posts have fans split down the middle. Some are calling her out, saying she's going back on her words about objectification. Others are cheering her on, saying she's owning her image and challenging the norm. It's like a social media battlefield out there.
But sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it.
But she's pretending like there is something there. There's one person who is driving all this, and it's Angel Reese.
Let's break it down. Angel's been vocal about being sexualized in the past, right? But now she's posting these glam shots that are, let's face it, pretty revealing. Some fans are scratching their heads, wondering what's up with the sudden change. One critic even said, if you're gonna cry about your image, maybe don't hand feed the drama. Ouch. But hold up, there's another side to this story. Some fans are all for Angel's posts, saying she's taking control of her own narrative. They're arguing that it's her body, her choice, and if she wants to show it off, more power to her. It's like she's flipping the script on what it means to be a female athlete. You know what's wild? This isn't just about Angel anymore. It's turned into this huge debate about women athletes in general. Are they held to different standards than the guys? Can they be sexy and still be taken seriously as athletes? It's got everyone talking. Think about it. When a male athlete posts shirtless pics, nobody bats an eye. But when a woman athlete shows some skin, suddenly it's front page news. Is that fair? Some fans are saying it's a double standard, and they're not happy about it. Here's where it gets really interesting. This whole situation is shining a light on the crazy pressure women athletes face. They're expected to be perfect on the court, off the court, on social media, everywhere. It's like they can't win no matter what they do. Angel's not taking this lying down though. In a press conference, she fired back at her critics saying, I don't fit in a box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood. I'm too ghetto. But when other people do it, y'all say nothing. Talk about speaking your mind. This brings up a whole other issue. Race? Angel's pointing out that she's being judged differently, not just because she's a woman, but because of her race too. It's adding a whole new layer to the conversation. So, what's the real issue here? It's not just about some photos on Instagram. It's about the insane pressure on women athletes to be perfect all the time. They're walking this tightrope between being true to themselves and meeting everyone else's expectations.
Where is the time? It seems like Angel Reese is caught up in modeling and podcasting and blah, 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 blah.
After the season, and when I was in my press conference and I was talking about being sexualized, like, I guess people thought that was like, because I post pictures in my bathing suits, no, like.
And let me tell you, that tightrope is getting shakier by the minute. Speaking of expectations, let's flip the script. Remember that rivalry between Angel and Caitlyn? It's not just on the court anymore. We're talking fan counts, media attention, and yeah, even those classless comments. But who's really winning this game off the court? You won't believe the numbers we're seeing. Caitlin Clark's games are pulling in over 5,300 fans on average. That's insane. Now, compare that to Angel Reese's games, which are averaging around 10,200 fans. The difference is staggering, and it's got everyone talking. But it's not just about butts and seats. Clark's making history with her TV viewership too. Get this, 16 out of her 18 games have attracted over 1 million viewers. That's the kind of impact that changes the game for women's basketball. Now let's rewind a bit. Remember that NCAA championship game? The one where Reese's taunting gestures towards Clark set social media on fire. Some folks called it classless, and it sparked this huge debate about sportsmanship. But here's where it gets tricky, and people started pointing out that Clark had done similar things in previous games, but nobody batted an eye. So what gives? Is there a double standard here? Some are saying it's not just about the actions, but about who's doing them. This whole situation has got people talking about race and gender in sports. There's this idea floating around that Clark might be benefiting from white privilege in how fans and media treat her. It's a touchy subject, but it's one that's impossible to ignore. And just when you thought things couldn't get more intense, and we've got this recent game where Reese committed a flagrant foul against Clark. The physicality between these two is off the charts, and it's got everyone wondering what it means for the WNBA.
Now people are calling you out on it when you post things like this on social media.
Although many people don't want to give Angel her credit, there's no doubt that the hero versus villain story is working in the WNBA's favor as well as Caitlin Clark's favor.
But let's not forget, both these women are incredible athletes. Reese was named the most outstanding player of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. And Clark, she snagged the Naismith Player of the Year title. These aren't just good players, they're game changers. It's like we're watching two different stories unfold. On one side, we've got Clark breaking records and winning hearts with her authentic approach. On the other, there's Reese, dealing with controversy, but still showcasing undeniable talent on the court. This rivalry isn't just about basketball anymore. It's become this bigger narrative about public image and perception in women's sports. Fans are picking sides, and it's reshaping how we talk about women athletes. You know what's crazy? The WNBA's facing a make or break moment, and it's not just about who's scoring more points. Remember that flagrant foul between Reese and Clark? It's just the beginning. The real game changer? It's happening off the court, and it's got everyone talking. This Reese-Clark rivalry isn't just about two players anymore, it's reshaping how we see women's basketball. Fans are picking sides, and it's not pretty. Some are Team Reese, others are all about Clark. But here's the kicker, it's not just about their skills on the court, it's about everything that's happening off it too. The WNBA's got a big problem on their hands. Fans are demanding change, and they're not being quiet about it. They want the league to step up and address the drama. It's like they're saying, hey WNBA, we see what's going on, and we want answers. So what do fans want? They're calling for more accountability and transparency.
The old heads, the ones who are petty, the ones who are jealous, the ones who can't get on the new wave is what is continuing to hold the league back.
Think was gonna happen. Honestly. Work on look, Angel Reese has got some basketball skills. She does.
They're tired of the double standards. When Reese does something, she gets slammed. But when Clark does something similar, crickets. Fans are saying, enough is enough. And it's not just about the players. Fans are looking at the WNBA itself. They want the league to promote players based on their game, not their drama. It's like they're saying, show us the basketball, not the soap opera. Let's talk about that flagrant foul for a second. Reese made contact with Clark's head and things got heated fast. Reese tried to play it cool, saying it was a basketball play, but fans aren't buying it. They're saying this rivalry is getting too physical and they're worried about where it's heading. Here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just about Reese and Clark anymore. It's about the whole WNBA. How the league handles this drama could make or break women's basketball. Fans are watching closely and they're not afraid to speak up. Think about it, the WNBA's at a crossroads. They've got these two amazing players bringing in fans and media attention. But they've also got this growing tension that's threatening to overshadow the game itself. What's the league gonna do?
And so you knew they were gonna come for you. You had to know that. Now, to the degree that they're doing so, I get where you're coming from.
Pictures I have put up half naked. And one thing we know as a slam dunk here is you're a hypocrite.
Some fans are saying the WNBA needs to step in and set some ground rules. Others are loving the drama, saying it's good for the sport. But here's the thing. Is it really good if it's taking away from the game? That's the million-dollar question. And let's not forget about the bigger picture. This whole situation is shining a light on some serious issues in women's sports. Race, gender, double standards. It's all coming to the surface. The WNBA can't ignore it anymore. So what's next for the WNBA? They've got to find a way to keep the excitement of rivalries like Reese versus Clark without letting it turn into a circus. They need to address the concerns about fairness and double standards. And they've got to do it in a way that keeps fans engaged and respects the players. Let's recap this wild ride. Angel Reese's photos sparked a massive debate about how we treat women athletes. It's not just about what they wear anymore. It's about race, double standards, and the pressure to be perfect. The WNBA is at a crossroads trying to balance the drama with the game we love.
And because of Angel's Rodman-esque rebounding, never seen anything quite like it. She has run away.
Caitlin Clark hasn't done anything. She goes out and plays basketball. I've never seen her trash talk. I've never seen her taunt Angel Reese. There's nothing there.
Now, here's where it gets real. We've got to ask ourselves some tough questions. Are we judging these players fairly? Or are our own biases getting in the way? Think about it. When was the last time you questioned how a male athlete was treated? So here's the million-dollar question. Is all this drama good for women's basketball? Or is it taking away from the incredible talent on the court? What do you think? Are we building up the sport or are we tearing it down? It's time to take a hard look at how we view women athletes.